Hi, welcome back to Devoxx UK 2018. I'm joined today with Chris Batey. Hi.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm very good.
So, you're speaking.
I am, yeah. I'm doing a talk on some of the more advanced features of the Scala programming language.
Okay, so for someone who likes Scala except for it's Scala and I need a PhD to know Scala because everyone who writes Scala writes in a foreign language to me.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think Scala's doing compared to the other JVM languages, and why would someone come and pick Scala up now compared to the where they might have not picked it up before?
Yeah, so just to kind of quell a myth, I think the PhD stuff, what there is a very vocal part of the Scala community which likes to programming in Scala just like Haskell, and I was talking about this a bit in my talk. I'd say that is not mainstream Scala. Like most of the jobs you'll actually get in Scala are a hybrid of object-oriented and taking some of the simpler and useful parts of functional programming rather than lots and lots of type theory, category theory and things. So to specifically answer your question, which is like why would you pick it, I think if you want like a slightly better object-oriented language, then I think languages like Kotlin are very good. But I think if you want a different paradigm and you want to actually combine object-oriented and functional programming, then there are features in Scala which just aren't in the other emerging languages, like higher kind of types was one of the topics I was talking about today.
So if as a premise for your talk, why would I be interested in watching your talk? And because it's going to be recorded and available for our viewers.
Yeah, so I'd say the sales pitch of the talk is to first tell people like this is what mainstream Scala could look like rather than what we see a lot of blog posts about, etc. Two, taking really simple features of the Scala programming language, things like function composition and currying and partial application, things which I think people grasp very quickly. I don't think you need a PhD or any. I think they're very common, very useful concepts, and how you can use that to actually structure, say, a web application. And then the other kind of sales pitch is, I think as a lot of the programs we write at the moment are becoming asynchronous. I think we do that because we're reaching a bottleneck when we're developing lots of like microservices which talk to databases and queuing systems and HTTP. So a lot of the things we're writing these days, they're not actually using CPU time. Yet what we often do in the Java ecosystem is use an operating system thread for the duration of the request. Now, why is that relevant? Because that's relevant because the ecosystem we have these days is we don't have a future, an asynchronous construct in the Java programming language, which is used extensively. We have the completable future, which is excellent. The problem is no library uses it because they all predate Java 8. So one of the other selling points was how you can write code in Scala which abstracts over whether you're using a completable future or a future, and you can make your business logic clean and worry about which of those to use later.
That sounds great. So you've been around the conference for a while, and you've been here yesterday and today.
Yep.
What other content have you seen, and what's got you interested at Devoxx this year?
So I've been to a lot of JVM conferences. There's a lot of repeated material. Some of the stuff I really liked yesterday was some more fundamental stuff. So, for instance, I went to a talk on the computer science behind a data store, which I thought was a really good talk because, as well as building microservices, we're also using often databases and things now which are spread across different data centers and locations, and that adds a lot of complexity onto developers rather than your transaction-based single-server database. So that was really good, and I enjoyed that one.
So Oracle have been, again, banging the drum that Java's moving forward faster and that we're going to be getting 9, 10, 11, 12, like a drum beat coming out regularly. How do you think that's going to affect the community? How is that going to affect you as a developer? And what are your aspirations for Java and the JVM going forward?
So I hope and I think it's a good thing that we're getting regular releases and we're getting new features and we're getting more innovation. I think the problem is it adds a huge overhead for open source library maintainers. And a lot of the open source, I mean, I spend my life contributing to open source, but I'm paid to do it. So I have time to make Akka, which is an open source JVM library compatible with Java 9 and 10, 11, etc. There are many other libraries in our ecosystem that we all rely on, which do not have people paid. Like lots of things rely on ByteBuddy, and the guy is doing it in his own time, and it's a lot of effort for him. So I just hope that we don't move too fast that people give up on certain Java open source libraries?
My hope is that we get a lot more support from our tooling, from our CI/CD pipelines, because it has been said that the rate of change is not going to increase. It's just the rate of release that's going to increase. And so the change that we see over a 3-year window is still only going to be the same. However, we're just going to see the releases come faster. And if we can keep up with releasing open source libraries and making that easier, like we would with our own continuous deployment pipelines, I think that the future could possibly be quite rosy.
I think so, and I think Java 9 was the big one that made fundamental changes for especially lower level libraries. I think 10, 11, 12, they're not going to be as big a changes, so I'm looking forward to new features like local type inference and things. And
Project Amber seems to have got my attention, and I'd love not to have to wait another 3 years before I can take advantage of those. And I hope to see people coming out of computer science degrees looking around and seeing Java as a vibrant language that is worth learning, not the next COBOL.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Oh well, it's been great chatting to you. Thanks a lot, Christopher.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us. That's been us at Devoxx UK 2018. Thank you for joining us.